Hello, and welcome to another episode of Dork. God damn it. It's so good. So hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dork Tales. I'm your storyteller, Kelly, and this is the Bitches of Brewery Park, Season 2, Episode 4. Joining me tonight are some of my best friends who are playing a bunch of werewolves in Vancouver, and I am adjusting them because every time I load up OBS, a setting has changed without informing me. It's great.
Of course.
Maybe one day Kate will be well adjusted.
Maybe someday this stream will be well adjusted. All right, so if this is your first time with us, this is a Chronicles of Darkness game that follows a small pack of pretty young werewolves in Vancouver, British Columbia. Not Columbia. Caramba. And last episode they got into some pretty bad stuff. Why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves? So why don't we start with Jen?
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm playing Brighton Lee, a Kahalith Stormlord.
All right. So let's say hello to Caitlin.
Hello, I'm Caitlin. I'm playing Claire Iwatani, a Rahu Iron Master.
Hello, Amy.
Hello, I am Amy, and I am playing Kate Powers.
Kate Powers.
The Aelidoth Iron Master.
All right. I'm going to make Caitlin just a tiny bit smaller.
Too big.
Yeah, you're well. I have your head getting cut off a tiny bit. Your eyes
Yeah,
are
pretty close.
Oh, okay. It's because you're adjusting stuff. And hello, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm playing Megan Butler, the Raka Iron Master.
So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. This has been we were on a 3-week hiatus because we were on vacation. So it's good to be back. How's everybody doing today? Besides being really hot, because it's really hot in our city.
It is really hot.
It's like stupid
Tired.
hot. You're tired?
Really tired.
But that's okay,
Yep.
because your characters are going to be definitely tired. So we're going to jump right into game after 2 little bits of paperwork. Everybody's favorite thing to watch on a stream. So first of all, we are using a system called Putting It on the Line. It's from one of the optional rules from Werewolf the Forsaken that allows the players to control what their death rage does and raise the tension by putting another character, a non-player character, on the line. So that means that if they lose control and wolf out, they risk destroying their relationship or the character themselves. So for this game, Brighton, who is yours?
I'm choosing an NPC that we haven't dealt with yet, but Ember Bowes. She's a member of my old gang and still sometimes my friend.
Let's see. All right, so I've got friend/gang. Okay. Let's go to Claire.
I wanted to also touch on a character we had discussed, but it's never actually come up in game yet because I don't really have many other characters. I'm like, well, why would it be her dad or something like that, right?
Yeah, your dad's in Japan. If you rage that hard that you killed someone in Japan from Vancouver, I think that we're playing Exalted or Scion instead.
I mean, you could just ruin the relationship, but I still think it would be hard to do from that distance.
Yeah.
Get on the phone call, or get a phone call just from Claire the werewolf.
Why is Claire Skyping me on a full moon?
Oh God.
Oh no. Claire Wolf.
Claire Wolf.
So I wanted to put Marika. I think is how I pronounced her name. Yeah, she was Claire's original mentor person.
You normally allowed to put werewolves down as you're putting it on the line?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We will for this session.
Okay.
Yeah, you could always, you know what, since we're using the modified rules where you don't always kill them, you can ruin the relationship, you could do something in Death Rage that completely just makes them disavow you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that little modification. Kate.
Okay. I'm thinking let's go with someone who I think we've only really seen really briefly, Lawrence Emerson.
Oh wow! Okay, going for the pack with Larry.
This is great. I just have only so many characters, and I don't quite want to mess with Carly right yet.
Aw. All right, and let's see what Megan's putting on the line.
I'm just trying to find the bloody name
Okay.
because it's one of the people I put in the background stuff that we came up with. But I should have that in one of my various.
All right. So in the meanwhile, while you're looking that up, I just also want to do the second bit of business that we have here, which is to tell everyone that unless our plans change, Werewolf the Forsaken normally runs on Sunday night, but this coming week of what would have been August 23rd, we're actually going to run it on August 21st, the Friday. And the reason for that is that on the 22nd and 23rd, Dork Tales is participating in the Extra Life Tabletop Appreciation Day, where we play role-playing games for 12 hours each day to raise money for sick kids. We'd love it if you went and looked us up on Extra Life, and if you follow us on any social media or on our Twitch, we're going to have a lot of banners starting today that are going to be going up there. Every dollar that you give goes to the BC Children's Hospital. We don't see any of it. I think we get like a cool dice for participating, which we're pretty down with. Don't get me wrong. But if you have a little bit of extra money, we are in the middle of a pandemic. And regardless of what your feelings are toward that, that does mean that the hospitals are a bit more overloaded than usual. And every dollar you can give to kids is an extra dollar that really goes a long way. So if you have a couple of extra bucks, throw them at us. Throw them at me. No. But yeah, look us up, Dork Tales on Extra Life. You can also look up any of us. Our names are in the credits if you want to donate to someone individually, or you can hunt us down via the group, because I think, Jen, you're the only one that doesn't have time to do it next weekend, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I have time for our game, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, it kind of just came up. We didn't know this was happening until about a week ago. And then it was like, oh, God. So then thank you very much for posting that. So yeah, so go to extralife.org, and we are team number 50985. All right. Megan, do you have the character?
Yes. So it hasn't come up during game yet, but Liz Brantwood, best friend, one of the best friends from uni, and then lived together as roomies for a while.
Okay, I listed as uni BFF. All right. So, anybody have anything they want to talk about before we jump in?
I'm scared.
You're scared? Okay.
I'm ready for this to be very dramatic and emotional.
All right.
I also just want to double check. So last in-game date was April 4th.
April 2nd.
I believe that's correct.
April 4th?
Well, that's what, because I've been asking at the beginning and writing it down.
Okay.
Because the second session was April 3rd.
Right, yeah, it is the 4th, Saturday.
First session was April 2nd.
Yeah, and then we went to Friday, April 3rd was episode 2. And then we went over to midnight, so we were on the early morning, Saturday, April 4th.
That sounds
in-game
right.
was April 4th, and we went back in time to March, like 19th or something.
Yeah, we jumped back in time to do some retrospective narrative.
The moon shifts from the half moon to something
Gibbous,
else about
it was going to me
halfway through the day, I think we said. It was so depending on where things.
Okay, so we're still April 4th then?
Yeah, we're going to still be on April 4th at the beginning of the game, but I think you guys are going to have a little bit of downtime.
And I have marked down 1 point of aggravated damage.
You do. So I think you might have had more, but we're just going to round it down to 1, given the circumstance, because for some reason that whole aggravated damage thing in werewolves just didn't click for anybody. And it's been really funny because I've had a lot of people, even in YouTube comments, that have been like, oh, I thought they just died when they got full of lethal. Because that's something so much that you get used to in World of Darkness games, because you're basically screwed at that point. But no, you keep bleeding out. You have more blood in you than you think. A motivational quote of the day. You have more blood than you think.
Brought to you by vampires.
Brought to you by vampires. All right, so everybody ready to howl?
Starting a woo.
Starting a woo. I would love it if you guys also would make sure you're hydrated, because it is very warm, and for audio's sake, I don't have any fans on, and I don't know if you guys do.
I do.
Yeah, I can't hear your fan, so that's all that matters.
I've got one on very low on my feet, but it's not doing much.
I love the tiny fan.
Yeah, mine's a tiny fan, and because of the headset, I think it picks up my voice more than surrounding sounds.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and start off then? This story is true. There once was a boy named Christopher Price. He was an awkward, chubby boy who one day would bloom into a handsome man, but those changes would come after many long and painful years. He grew up in a small city in Oregon, right along the I-5. Most people never stayed, and he was used to seeing the world pass by on their way to better things. His mother was an attractive woman, and his father was not. His father drank, and when he drank, he noticed the little things. Like how Chris's beautiful blue eyes looked nothing like his or Mrs. Price's. Like how there was a soft roll in the waves of Chris's sunflower blonde hair, nothing like the brown and black of Mr. and Mrs. Price. And when his father drank, some devil inside of him always convinced him that if he beat the boy hard enough, he'd start to look like him. And yet, he could never bring himself to hit the boy's face. Something about it just looked too familiar. Chris didn't do sports. Short-sleeved uniforms were never an option for him. So he hid in the basement and watched old movies. He mimicked voices, fight scenes, and choreography. He learned to dance from Patrick Swayze and Fred Astaire. He learned to talk to women from Harrison Ford, Richard Gere, and later on Brad Pitt. He went to college to escape home as much as to fulfill that middle-class expectation that he would go and get a degree, though he quickly abandoned his original major when he landed a small role in the college production of The 12th Night. At an after-party, the show's director drunkenly admitted that if Chris had been slimmer, he would have been cast as one of the leads. He had the talent, he just didn't look like a star. And so Chris learned how to exercise, to starve, to supplement with amphetamines when that didn't work. And it worked. After a rough first year, he began headlighting. Offers from modeling and commercial work, local and small, began to trickle in, and he began to believe that he could make it. So he took his savings and moved to California. But California has a million handsome actors, all much more fervent than him, and he spent the better part of his 20s waiting tables, tending bar, doing commercials for toothpaste and other medical products, best left unnamed. But it got better. Eventually, he found himself commuting between LA and Vancouver for Lifetime original shows and soap operas like Hope Springs. And then he got the call. A new production, a superhero show filming in Vancouver. And while he wasn't the first choice, he had an open work visa and an aggressive agent. He landed it. Everything was going to finally work out. He was going to be a star. This story is also true. As the pack rampaged and ravaged Mount St. Joseph's Hospital, the bolder spirits watched from the shadow with eager hatred, while the smaller ones scattered like so many rats. The humans in the ward didn't stand a chance against the onslaught of the pack in full. They screamed and died, their minds too clutched by lunacy to even understand what killed them as they died. Across the gauntlet, though, the pure, the pack who called themselves Father's Blood, raised the body of their dead member and howled in mourning and rage at the bitch moon above. At their feet squirmed the newborn spirit born of the one called Plague Shuck. It mewled in fear and hunger, unsure of whether to run or hide, and too afraid to decide. The largest of the werewolves, Clay Jessup, the Witch King, approached the spirit and laid the corpse down beside it. "Here," growled Clay. "You must get your strength up." The spirit shivered. "Eat. Eat of our pack. Strengthen our bond." The spirit did not hesitate, not with its permission, and it bit hungrily into the young werewolf's corpse, tearing sinew and muscle, snapping bone and guzzling gore. Slowly, the spirit grew as the body shrank bite by bite. Something new was taking shape. "Good," Clay muttered. "You need a name." From behind him, the one known as Kaelin Running Maw split her face with a wicked grin. She walked and looked down at the small feeding spirit, growing ever larger with each bite, and ran her fingers down the burn scars that laced along the muscles of her arms. Poor little Soren, she said. Little ivory claw. You'll live on, brother. You will live on and... Yes. Ku'urakalu. That's your name now. Silver Wolf Eater. And the newly named spirit was happy to eat. In the hospital, the fire alarm is going off over you. When you suddenly come back to your senses, you're exhausted. Your bodies are slumped on the ground all together, your faculties slowly returning from a haze like a drunken stupor, like waking out of a nightmare that seems incredibly real with just flashes of blood and gore and a taste. Oh God, the taste is so beautiful. It's the second best taste you've ever had in your life. And it makes you want to vomit. Your clothes are soaked with gore. You're laying on the 6th floor of the hospital ward. The walls are painted with blood. I would like everyone here to do me a favor and just make me a wits and composure roll. Just to start off, I want to know what people are able to take in from their surroundings.
Okay.
And I'm sorry in advance.
Sorry, which floor are we on? The first one?
Well, you technically don't know, but
Okay, because it just, yeah. You just said something at the end of last game, so.
did I say you were on the first floor at the end of last game?
Yeah.
I don't think that really matters.
No, it doesn't. I just want to make sure. Just check.
I think it was a reference to the fact that we might have gone through the entire hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what was being. Yeah.
So I have a fun start to game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 0 successes.
Okay.
Just wits and composure?
Yep.
Penalties?
No, just do it flat.
Okay.
You guys are penalized enough this game.
I recognize more than enough, more than I want to.
Yeah.
Okay,
I got
so
4.
Way more than I
Four?
want to.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I got 2 6s, 2 7s, and 2 1s.
Megan does
Oh,
not get to shrink
close,
away from
though.
what she's seeing at all.
That's beautiful. Okay, and do I have a pen? Oh, I do. And also I have my computer playing a noise. That's nice.
It's helping.
All right. So we got 4 successes, and then Claire, you had how many?
Oh, I got 4.
You got 4. Okay.
Yeah.
And Megan had how many?
7.
7?
Yep.
How do you have 7 successes? That's ridiculous.
Well, I rolled 2 10s and 2 8s, and the 2 10s exploded into another 10 and an 8. And
God damn. Okay.
I just kind of went from there.
Bryden has 0, and Kate has how many?
2.
As I said, Megan recognizes way too well what happened.
As you start to come back to your senses, you can hear the fire alarm's been pulled. The lights in the hallway are flashing. Most of them are smashed, but the emergency lights are flooding. On, off, casting stark relief onto the shadow, turning the blood on the walls black. In the distance, so if we said it last game, then you guys are going to be on the first floor then, and you are all going to be standing just in front of the check-in counter. There is a huge trail of claw marks raking the particle board in half. Behind the counter, that woman, the tired nurse, is laying on the ground in a pool of blood. You're not sure if she's alive or dead. As you look down, Megan and Claire, you can see that there's a small bit of rise to her chest. Kate, as you stand up, your legs are weak. Your knees are knuckling in on each other. Everything's wavering. Brighton, you are dazed. And in the distance, everyone except for Brighton can hear the sound of quite a few police vehicles approaching. What do you all do?
We have to exit.
In and of this
via side
moment,
exit.
what likely seems the best idea to Megan? Of like
not being around.
leaving, pretending to be victims as well. Like,
what I can definitely tell you is that in the distance, you can see that there are other people fleeing the hospital. Quite a few, in fact.
okay,
People would not have stayed around for this. They don't just wait to die. They run, and they won't remember what they saw. But they will get the hell out.
okay.
Can we
I
blend
think
into
seeing
the
that
crowd?
is going to be enough to trigger Megan to try and gather up the others and go.
Okay. Claire, what were you saying?
Can we blend into the crowd?
You think you probably can, yeah.
Okay.
You'll be at the back of it, but that just means that you were the last ones out of the hospital, and you're covered with enough blood that's not yours that you probably will fit in.
I'm going to probably sling Brighton's arm over my shoulder if she's fairly dazed seeming. And an arm around her back to keep her going forward and on her feet.
Yeah, Brighton's gonna kind of lean on you and just. She's almost muttering under her breath, like, "What? What?" Like, very dazed, confused.
Yes.
Kate, as you stand up, your legs begin to tremble, and you realize that you have a 3-inch deep gash at your left hip. That's your aggravated damage. It's right at the hip where it goes in, right at the ball joint. It hurts a lot.
Guys, I need
Do you
to.
need help to leave?
I need to.
She's stuttering too much. I'm gonna help her.
Okay.
I'm gonna sling her arm over my shoulder now too.
No, I need to. We need to. I need to make sure. But
We have to go. We can check her later.
what if we hurt her? What if we hurt Carly?
Nothing we do right now is gonna fix it. We have to go.
That's
I'm gonna try to start forcibly dragging her
All right.
towards the group of people leaving.
All right, Kate, are you going to be pulled along?
She's gonna try and resist a bit, but probably can't fight her off, honestly.
All right, so Claire, why don't we just do a quick contested roll? Do strength and stamina contested. Alternatively, Kate, you could use strength and resolve, I'd allow.
Strength and resolve.
Yep, just for stubbornness, basically.
So when you say contested, remind me, do we
You're redoing a roll off.
just do a full roll? Okay.
How'd you do, Claire?
3.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
2.
All right.
Ah!
So you pull against her, but that wound on your hip is just you suck in a bit of air through your teeth, and she uses that opportunity to pull your right hip against hers. You're leaving a blood trail.
Brighton will just follow along where Megan takes her, basically.
All right, Megan, what's your plan? Where are you trying to go?
Well, I think we brought my car
Yes.
and we parked kind of around the block.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and aim for that.
All right.
Kind of follow everybody fleeing out as much as I can, and then just
All right.
we're getting out of here. We can regroup later.
You are not going to have to make a roll to blend into a bunch of people fleeing a hospital at this point. People just are not paying attention to you. They're trying to take care of themselves. Outside the hospital, you can see that there are about 40 people milling around, moving across the street. Mount St. Joseph is in the middle of the city, so there are tons of people nearby, a lot of rubberneckers. Traffic is completely stopped going one direction, and the other direction people are slowing to a crawl as people run across the street, trying to avoid getting tagged by bumpers. As you head outside, rain is falling, but it's too warm. Even though it's only April, the rain is really warm. It feels too warm. Like blood. Where are you headed? You can head toward your car directly, or you can try to do a circumspect route.
I've actually a quick question,
Yes.
note on that. We did arrive to the hospital in the other side of the gauntlet. Did we
right,
actually
Right,
bring
you
your
didn't
car?
take your car.
That's
No.
right. Actually, no,
Yeah.
we'd taken the car for something else.
That's right, because this is
But
what
then we
happens
left it
when
at the
we have a
den.
3-week break between games.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
1 week of vacation in there.
Yeah, which counts for 4 weeks.
I'm just gonna get us moving then, I guess. Because how far away are we from our den?
About a mile.
Okay, so a really good distance.
Yeah.
Things moving slow.
Normally, you could probably make it there in 10 minutes at like a soft jog. Right now, it'll probably take you about 20 minutes to get there at a walk with Kate. Although
Okay.
she can...
Can we?
I just realized,
Sure.
actually, it hurts a lot, but you're going to be able to endure it because of your totem bond.
Mm.
Ooh.
Iron stamina?
Yeah, iron stamina. It means you ignore wound penalties, but I'll also say it, it'll allow you to power through this too, for sure.
Okay.
Could we maybe get
Um,
around a corner or get behind something and then shift into Urhan and make it there quicker?
If you, it is after dark at this point, so if you want to be wolves running through the city, then potentially, yeah.
Now, just to refresh my memory, last game, we went in on the other side of the gauntlet and we got knocked through or pulled
Yes.
out of it.
We
You
did.
somehow got thrown across the gauntlet, which is impossible.
Okay.
That is definitely something that should not be able to happen. Nothing, as far as you know, can do that. Even spirits have to use loci. So what do? Claire, do you try to convince them to go into an alleyway?
Yeah. Further away from the hospital, of course. But I think that would be probably our best option to get there rapidly. I don't think we want to go on the bus looking like hell. I don't think Kate
Just-
wants to either.
Just all of us climb onto the bus.
Yeah, be such a sight, hey?
Even let us on looking at sketch during the pandemic.
That's good.
More
call.
like they would recognize
Anyway.
what had happened or have heard of it already and be kind of going, I think you need to see an ambulance.
Yeah, I think you need to go right
Mhm.
back.
With how covered we are in blood.
Yeah.
You stumble
Yeah,
up.
if
Oh, go ahead.
no, just like if there's no drawback to shifting at this point, because I don't know if there's anything about coming out of coming out of death rage and then shifting. I don't know. I don't think there is, but
You can shift again immediately if you like. You're pretty
Sweet.
tired, but that's about it.
okay, cool.
I think the only real issue is if when you were in Garu, you wouldn't want to shift out if you were then going to
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think everything else is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I will encourage Brighton to shift then if she's still dazed.
All right.
Yeah, she'll probably shift. It might take her a minute of just like blinking and trying to concentrate, but she'll do it.
All right. So you'll
Okay.
be able to find a quick place around the side of the hospital. Actually, just about a block away, there's a preschool that has a pair of large green dumpsters behind it.
Perfect.
As you head over, you can easily shapeshift. Don't bother. You just spend the time to do it. And from there, you can probably jog home. You can hear the sirens getting closer in the distance, and as you watch, 6 police cruisers whip by, as well as a supervisor van. You can hear overhead something that is rare in the inner city. The tack, 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 tack of a chopper.
Ooh.
Now, you're trying to get home, and you're in a fairly urbanized part of the city, even though it's night and the streets are fairly quiet because of COVID. I'd like it if you all could make me a... Give me a wits and streetwise roll to try to figure out the best way to go home, and then we'll see how well you do. So this is going to be a group check. Who is going to be planning this route?
Can I use my back alley specialty?
Yes, you absolutely may.
Wow, nice. So I think you are.
Andy.
I am not going to be very useful. I am so sorry.
I mean, I don't have a lot of dice for it, but I do have that specialty, so.
Mhm.
That's
We'll
awesome.
see how many dice we can add.
I don't think my pack dynamics thing is probably all that useful right now, because she's concerned about some of their pack members actively. So,
Or
Nice.
though in
Okay,
which
so
case,
that's-
I might be on a -3 dice.
And I just-
second.
If you can't check in on them, so yeah.
Oh,
No success,
So sorry, Jen,
but no
what were you
chance
saying?
die.
I was just, I add the dice, right? So,
Yeah.
Megan gave me 4 and Claire gives me 1.
Yep.
And then Kate's
Nothing
not
for me.
any.
Did you roll a 1?
No, I wasn't on a chance die, and I rolled
Okay.
a 3, so
Okay.
I just nothing for me.
So that's 5. That's 11 dice. Woohoo!
All right. So the way it's going to work is your streetwise is going to give people a penalty based on your successes on being able to see you.
Right, okay. So I've already gotten 5 successes, and I have to
Okay.
reroll 2 dice. Six successes total.
Okay, hold
nice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make a pack beat chart. So boop, boop, boop. All right. You've started to learn the territory well enough over these past months that it's easy. You know the rough comings and goings of delivery trucks and cabs and where people tend to congregate in this area. And with COVID, it makes it all the simpler.
And it probably gives Brighton something to focus on to make her brain work.
You lead the pack, pushing them through, keeping their keen eyes all around you to alert you of sudden changes that need to be made, a back alley that needs to be chosen over another one, a small claustrophobic turn that needs to be made, or a quick climb over a set of cars that are parked next to a low fence. It's easy, and a couple of times you'll find yourselves crouching and crawling beneath a window while people talk animatedly inside or watch old Netflix shows. At one point, you can smell the cigarette smoke of a man leaning out a window a foot above where you are crouched and slinking alongside a old yellow-painted brick wall. He doesn't even notice. The smoke covering the scent of wet wolf. And then, before long, you escape the rain and find yourselves right at the front door of your den. What do you do? Head inside?
Kate will whimper and then shift back and stumble forward, and the door
As
thing.
we kind of approach the den, I would like to just kind of be a little more alert,
All right.
just checking and see if the Pure has decided to come find us here.
That sounds great. So,
Yeah.
if you're doing that, then Brighton, go ahead and make me just a quick wits and composure or intelligence and investigation if you're looking for like minutia in the surroundings.
Just gonna do the wits and composure.
Okay, just the broad sweep. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can use your wolf senses on this.
Awesome. Okay.
So, Kate,
how
as
much
you
that
shift
is.
up and try the door is locked.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah.
Glancing around, you are going to see a couple of things that are going to indicate to you that you don't smell any other werewolves in this vicinity. What you do smell, however, is the astringent smell of hospital sheets. You will smell You'll smell the faux leather of a car's interior, hand sanitizer near the front door, and you'll also notice Daniel's SUV is parked out front.
Oh.
That's Megan's brother.
Yeah. I'm gonna nudge Megan and motion to the SUV.
All right. Kate, you unlock the front door?
Yes.
All right. Stepping inside, the unusually for the pack and for your den, all 3 locks, including both redundant deadbolts, are locked. And as you open it, you can see that the light in the kitchen and the den's living room is on.
She's going to make noise of like just making it clear someone's home.
Who's there? You'll hear a voice come inside that you recognize as Daniel's.
Guess he's looking after Daisy.
And at that, actually, you will hear the sound of paws skittering across the floor, and a rather concerned-looking pit bull is going to round the corner and look up at you.
Yeah, Kate's gonna just melt and like hug dog and cry.
Daniel is going to round the corner, and the rest of you who are still outside will see him silhouetted by the door. He's holding an aluminum baseball bat in his hand. You all okay?
For the most part.
I'm gonna shift up into his shoe
Oh yeah, I guess I should shift up.
and just kind of stumble towards the door and be like, yeah.
I've been better. Oh no, I'm
Megan
getting
will shift
blood on
back.
Daisy. No.
The dog looks very happy to be covered in blood. What, a pit bull would?
No,
I'm sorry.
Daisy.
Like, not because it's a pit bull, just because they always look happy. Don't try to get me on that, people.
Megan is just kind of just limp with tiredness by straight to wherever the nearest washroom is and just stand in the shower, fully clothed. She's not going to bother. She just wants it off.
All right. As you step into the shower, you'll hear a scream in your mind. The water washes over you and the blood drips in rivets, and you'll hear a scream, cry of pain, woman, man. They start echoing through your mind, and as you stand there and the water washes down, you watch the blood spiral down the drain, and you can see how tightly your clothing is clinging to you, and how your stomach bulges. Like you just left Christmas dinner. And you get a flash of memory of beautiful blue eyes. Out in the living room, Daniel takes a step back and collapses into the chair directly adjacent to the couch, which has a sleeping figure on it, wrapped in a blanket. As soon as you step inside, it's a girl with blonde hair who looks actually quite a bit like Kate. It's Carly. I got your cousin out.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's kind of illegal, so if I get arrested, you owe me bail.
No, thank you. Really.
hear what happened.
We lost.
We were ambushed.
We lost, and I don't know.
Claire, what are you doing?
Claire is going to awkwardly sidestep this conversation while they're handling it and go make some anxiety coffee with her press.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
As you start to pump the coffee, you let the water boil. You measure out the grinds perfectly, like always. It's never the measurement they say on the bag. You always have to add an extra half teaspoon for every cup. It's just the way it is. They just don't understand the layering process and how you have to make sure that you stir the coffee when the boiling water is introduced for the exact number of seconds to let the oils escape. It's rote at this point, but it's a comforting ritual. And as you plunge the spoon through the murky grounds, you get a flash of the way that flesh parted, like that before your claws. The way you reached into a pair of ribs and pulled out the gore. The way you set the kettle back down absent-mindedly, and as it starts to scream, you're pulled back. But there was something so familiar in the scream that harmonized in your head. You can't help but think about the way the flesh split and the cottage cheese of the cellulite as you tore that old woman apart. But you can't even remember her face. Or maybe you ate it before you got a good look at it. Brighton, what are you doing?
I think I'm trying to just kind of get Daniel's side of the story out of him. Just like what he saw, what happened from his point of view. But she's using it as a way of distancing herself. I'm going to say that as a former or current addict,
Mm-hmm.
She might be feeling some incredibly conflicted feelings right now.
He'll relate the story pretty quickly. He's a pretty succinct guy. I was in the hospital trying to get them to admit the friend from my work, and he wasn't really conscious or anything like that, so I had to do as much paperwork as I could. I was waiting. And then I heard screaming, and I didn't know where he had been taken. But when we were driving around before, Kate mentioned that Carly was here. And I knew immediately what that screaming meant. I mean, people don't scream like that when they're just scared. Everybody was running out, so Kate had basically told me where she was, and she was pretty easy to find. I grabbed her and ran off. I didn't really see anything. I heard a bunch of stuff, but I have no idea what happened to anybody else. I'm glad you all made it out. What were you fighting? You said you lost.
Does Brighton know how much Daniel knows?
Daniel is a pack member, so he knows.
I knew that much, but...
Megan, how much do you think Daniel knows, since he's your NPC?
I'm thinking actually a fair amount, because I'm thinking that sibling relationship of just kind of like knowing that the other person has your back, kind of like you might give each other a ton of shit.
Okay.
But the moment you're threatened, you have their back.
Let's say broad strokes, not specifics. So he knows that werewolves exist. He knows that the Forsaken and Pure exist. He doesn't know what a Balehound is, but neither do you really. And he probably doesn't know the like what other packs are outside of the
big shit. Because if anything kind of was overwhelming, she probably talked to him about it.
Yeah, he probably knows more about the physiology than he knows about the mythology.
Yeah, because he's also one of our wolf-blooded too, right?
Yeah, he is wolf-blooded.
Yeah. And just to kind of keep him up to speed, to be like, hey, watch out for the Pure, they're terrible. Okay, then when he asks that, Brighton will just kind of the Pure were there. Entire pack of them.
Glad you guys are all okay.
We got one of them.
Thank you. Good, I guess. Are you guys okay? Can I... Do you want me to call anybody?
No, I think we need to all deal with what just happened with ourselves, and then
is there anything I can do though? Like, that looks like it's really painful. I've got back at my place, it's not very far away, but I've got some old T3s and some pretty good painkillers kicking around from I don't know. Is there anything like something to drink maybe?
That I can do. And maybe I should go try and pull out the sewing kit or something and stitch this up and stop bleeding all over the floor and the dog.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the dog needs a bath.
Alright, well, I can do that. Come on, Daisy. Come on, it's bath time.
I'll give Daisy a little scratch behind the ears before they head off.
The dog will try to scramble up onto your lap at that point. She goes completely pancake the moment that she scrabbles up there. She's a monstrous little brute of about 70 pounds of pure muscle, maybe 80. But she still goes flat like a puppy and tries to hit you with that tremendous pink tongue.
I'll just take a moment and like ruffle her ears and essentially let her lick the blood off my face, because I'm sure there's some.
There is a significant amount.
Yeah. Before I'll be like, bath time, go.
And as She licks the blood off of your face. You feel that slick hotness of her tongue lapping at you. And for a moment, you flash back to arterial spray that put the blood there in the first place. And a hand reaching up in front of yours as you bit down and tore the veins from the wrist wide open up the street. Not across the block. How did it go? You snap the bone in your teeth and you can still remember that crunching grind of that ring. It hurt when you did it. It was silver, or sterling silver, with a large moonstone in it. You've seen that ring before. And as Daisy walks away, you remember your landlord, Kira, I believe it was, had a ring just like that. It was a gift from an old college boyfriend when she was younger. She never got rid of it because she liked it so much, even when she didn't like him, and got rid of him pretty quick. You still have a little raw spot on the inside of your cheek where you ripped it off of her finger and spat it back out. Daniel takes the dog upstairs. And the only sound in the room is Carly's slightly too deep breathing on the verge of a snore, and the sound of Claire's mug as she stirs it absently. What do you all do? Or do you just take some time?
I think Megan has her freak out quietly in the shower.
I figure there's probably a sewing kit or something.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna try some self first aid.
Okay, so what that's going to do is you will have a first aid kit here because the
Yay.
wolf-blooded do get hurt decently often. This is going to be you're doing it on yourself, so I'm going to give you a -3 penalty and a +1 for the first aid kit. So it's going to be dexterity and medicine at a -2.
Dexterity and medicine.
You know what? Do it at a -1. Your hip is actually a fairly easy place to stitch. It just hurts.
Yeah, I think it's just like.
And it's.
I was actually thinking that would be a really hard place to have to be twisted to do it.
But
Depends
it's
on where it is.
But you can. It's right. Like it's hitting her right along the hip bone, kind of going from the front of the femur back along, and it stops just before the glute.
You can get both arms in there, right?
Yeah, you can.
If it was like on one arm, it'd be like, oh gosh.
Yeah,
but...
she can use both arms. It's awkward, but because she has an actual like kit that has like clamps and some other things to like help hold the wound shut while she stitches.
I'm glad I have a dot of medicine.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Claire's.
One
Sorry.
success.
You go ahead.
One success. All right, Claire.
I assume this is extended, probably.
Yes, Claire. What are you doing?
Oh, she was just gonna kind of probably space out into her coffee a little bit and then go over to sit. Is there an empty couch at the moment?
There is. There are several easy chairs and 2 couches that face each other in this den.
She'll sit on the couch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of waiting for everyone to group up if they wanted to.
Okay. So you'll slowly start to stitch it over. Give me one more roll.
Same roll.
Same roll.
That one is no success. Less good.
Less good?
Less
All right. So Kate is working there with a bent suture needle. or bent stitch needle, whatever you know what I'm talking about. A bent needle for stitching, and is slowly pushing it through and trying to pull it through with the little plier set. And the first inch of the 3.5 inch gash closes pretty well. You have a good angle on it, but the closer it gets toward the back of your leg, the harder it is to angle that. And as you push the needle through, you grit your teeth a little against the pain. And your mind glazes over as you look at the raw, oozing flesh. It's so pink and so red. And you get a flash for a moment. It's not a face, but it's your claws, your long Garu fingers tipped with those razors. And if someone's screaming and they were screaming and you just wanted them to shut the fuck up, so you put your fingers in their mouth and pulled down as hard as you could. And you tore their mouth open down into their chest like it was a bit of skin next to your fingernail. And they stopped screaming. And you come back to your senses. You realize that you've been trying to stitch the second inch of this wound for almost a full 5 minutes. You almost recognize the face. For some reason, you can't stop thinking about other pack members. Your anxiety at making sure they're all okay seems to be rolling around in your brain. You could try again?
Yeah. One success.
All right, and with that, you will refocus your mind and continue on. You'll be able to finish the rest of the stitching. You'll stop the bleeding, but it still is a point of aggravated damage. But still, you stop oozing. You'll put a little bit of... are you going to bother with putting some alcohol or iodine or anything on it?
I don't think it can get infected, can it?
If so, it was going to get infected anyway. Like
I'm a werewolf. I'm just trying to make it stop bleeding so I can function again.
Alright, so just cover it with some gauze and like some medical pads, etc. I promise one day,
basically.
guys, I will take first aid so I know what I'm talking about in these scenes. I can see Caitlin just trying not to say anything.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, what are those those needles called? The stitching needles.
Oh, suture needles.
They're called suture needles. Was I right the first time?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I looked at your face and there was like a little, and I'm like, oh, I got it wrong, and then I changed it.
No. Oh no, sorry.
That's just Caitlin's face.
That's just
Man.
Caitlin always thinks I'm wrong. That's fair.
She's got the resting you're wrong face.
Oh no.
Well, she's had a lot of experience.
I guess I kind of glaze when people start talking medical stuff sometimes.
I guess you hear a lot
Because
of
of
it.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Megan, you finish cleaning yourself off in the bathroom. Do you change your clothes? Do you just leave them there and walk out? Like walk out in your underwear or naked? Do you grab a change upstairs? I'm assuming that you're all pretty comfortable being around each other naked since you are about half of the time in wolf form.
Yeah, I figure there's probably a change somewhere in here, so she'll probably just walk out with a towel because she knows her brother's around.
Oh, that's fair. So yeah, there are 2 bathrooms in this den. One upstairs that has a tub and the shower downstairs. So you can go up to the kind of common sleeping area upstairs. You have some old clothes there that smell a little musty. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Amy?
Oh, just once Kate's done with suture that she's gonna go get herself into a shower.
All right.
Or a bath.
So basically what will happen is you'll hear Megan turn off the tap, take a moment, and then you'll hear the door open as your suture is completed. Do you just trade off with her?
Yeah, probably.
Did you throw your clothes in like a hamper or just into the trash?
Probably just into the trash.
Okay. The bathroom is stinking slightly of blood, but everything about you smells of blood right now anyway.
Yep.
You shower. Is anybody going to do anything in the meanwhile, or just take time to process and clean themselves?
I think I'm gonna go get changed. Brighton's fighting with the impulse to just go home and find out if her landlord is still alive. But also that might be a bad idea, so just kind of I might text Link. Just be like, hey, what's up?
You'll get a text back within a minute that says, not much, you? Chilling with the captain.
Good. That's good.
So, and you'll get a photo immediately of Link laying on the couch in his underwear in the living room with a cat on his stomach and a bong in his hand.
I'll just send one back that says, looks like fun. Not much here.
Not much fun, or like not much? Much? Question mark.
Not much going on.
Nice. Well, that's good. So, sup? What do you want?
I actually just leave that on red. I just ignore it now. I'll just finish cleaning up and head back to the others.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Megan's gonna come back down and probably start corralling people onto the same couch and just be like, cuddle pile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Claire's gonna try to dodge the cuddle pile, but she does want to bring her laptop out and to get her mind off of it. Probably plug the data that they found into the laptop just to get that started.
Okay.
Knowing Claire, you'll be allowed to stay on the end of the couch, but you'll have probably a foot under your thigh or something. And
that's fine. That's fine. Just as long as she's not super skished in there.
Yeah, Brighton's also going to be
will pull
the
you
other
in somehow.
Yeah,
but it'll be what you would tolerate.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Megan and Kate in the middle, truly cuddle puddle, and then Brighton and Claire on either end, just kind of we're connected, but also not in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, Kate's not available. However,
True,
Brighton is, so you two are stuck.
Kate will be back down in a little bit. She just needs to, be not covered in blood after, performing surgery on herself or, medical.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, there's also that. You don't want to cuddle with the blood right now.
Yeah.
So
and then she wants to get changed.
Yeah. Brighton will tolerate, just Megan being, super, super close, and that's fine. It's just she doesn't want to be, she doesn't want to feel claustrophobic.
Yeah, Megan's probably also, I would think, checking everybody over for other injuries that got missed, because that was freaky. Kate got her leg ripped off.
Basically,
yeah.
And she's restraining herself from going and checking Kate's job on sewing it back together, because she'll check with the other two of okay, is Kate okay? What did anybody deal with her leg?
She did.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she took care of it herself.
Yeah, I'm really useless for these things, so
Me too.
I just let her kind of do her thing.
It
looks like it worked out well enough.
So you spend some time consoling each other, getting cleaned up, and trying to figure out what's going on. Just kind of trying to find a little bit of equilibrium. Claire, you start looking through the data you pulled. And which data is that specifically?
It was the I believe it was
The USB that I grabbed?
There was USB, and there was also the dash cam.
I was thinking the dash cam footage from the car.
Yeah.
The dash cam footage from the car will take a bit of your time to review. What I'd like you to do as you're reviewing it is, you have all the time in the world, so make me an intelligence, and you can use either computers or investigation, whichever you prefer.
Yours would be great.
Sure.
Alright, let's see here then. Okay.
Two successes. So, checking through, it's actually pretty easy to find what you're looking for. As you rewind the footage, it's all silent, as most dash cam footage tends to be, especially the cheaper ones. You'll see footage of the last day, probably of Felicia Boyle's life, or at least the last day where she was driving that car. She drives to the grocery store. She buys some things, and as she goes home, you notice some erratic behavior. She pulls up to a light, and then sits at it. You watch the light turn green, and then yellow. And as it is yellow, at that last moment, she floors it and veers left across traffic, almost getting sideswiped by one of the cars that is trying to cross on the immediate green on her left. She drives quickly, taking a lot of erratic turns after that. Sudden ones. Across parking lots, jutting in just to U-turn back around. She does it about 5 minutes worth. Not really much off of her same route. It didn't really seem to show up on her cell phone as you checked it, but she drives home. She backs into her space. And as she does, she must not have noticed, because in her lot, directly across from her, are two men sitting in the front of a simple white truck. You recognize these men. You killed them a few days ago in the basement of that house on 16th Avenue. And as she opens her door and the footage shuts off, you can see them stepping out of their car and presumably heading toward her. Do you check anything else on the dash cam footage?
That's where it ends?
That's where it ends, yeah. It's got actually a decent amount on it. I would say it's got probably about, given how little she's been driving, probably about 2 months of footage on it. However, that's far fewer than 60 entries. Probably you're looking at about 20 to 30 entries. She doesn't drive terribly often, especially since she's been home for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. Alright. Maybe I'll try just a couple entries before that, just to see if there's any more of that erratic behavior, and then...
Okay. So what I want you to give me for this is another roll, and this is specifically going to be an investigation roll. because
Okay.
you're looking for clues, not just for generic footage. Although generic footage is the best thing I find on this channel.
So intelligence and investigation?
Yes, please.
Think of this.
What'd you get?
I didn't get anything.
You didn't get any successes? All right. So you will rewind the video and you'll watch a few times, but there's nothing there that looks particularly interesting. Nothing that really jumps out at you. You don't have any merits or anything in that regard, do you? Or do you want to try one more time at a -1?
No, but I just found one that I could have used earlier, but that's okay.
Oh, what is it?
Good time management, but we made it in good time anyway. It's fine.
Oh, that's true. Good time management is great.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No, I don't. That's okay though.
Okay.
I'll bring it up to everyone at a good moment.
Okay. I mean, there are a lot of entries to look through, so just another time later might be a good idea. Although you did look through twice as many as a normal person, thanks to good time management.
Nice.
All right. And with that, everybody will come back downstairs, and that you'll kind of come to as you come out of that. And go ahead and just talk to everybody. You're all together again, and Carly is fast asleep, very, very drugged up.
Once Kate comes back down, she's gonna essentially just drape herself over Megan, and so that she is managing to have physical contact at least at one point with all three of the other pack members.
Okay.
Even if it's literally like a foot or like an arm, just need to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps glancing over to make sure Carly's actually there, even though she can definitely hear her. And she'll be pinging out to the. No, she won't do the group chat. No, she'll start messaging everyone that she can directly, just to try and get responses.
When you come in, because I know that you have this thing with Pack, I will let you know that I've already talked to Link.
Okay.
Okay. So going through the pack members, you'll get responses from most of them. Are you just sending a, hey, just checking in, you okay? Or are you sending a more detailed message?
I think she'll make it a bit more detailed, but it'll take a while for her to actually figure out what to even say, because it's important to get a response. There's been an incident. Just making sure everyone's alive. They'll learn more later, I guess.
So what you'll get...
I mean, because they'll see it on the news that something happened.
So do you say where it happened?
I don't think she'll specify. She'll try and keep it vague, but
So you'll get messages back from Kit and from Ross. Link, you either do or don't, but he'll respond with a picture of a cat looking like it's smoking a bong, but isn't really. Corey will message back, and Carly won't, but she's literally right next to you.
There, so
You can feel your totem nearby, and Lawrence and Norma are going to respond. And the only people that don't respond immediately are Gina and Marissa. And then your phone will buzz. It's Gina. I saw everything.
What?
Don't
And then just
contact
take
me.
back. What?
don't contact me again. What do you do? Do you keep texting? Do you call?
She's gonna hand her phone over to whoever's closest. With that, it's probably either Megan or Brighton.
Okay.
Goes to Brighton.
I'll look at it.
You'll see those messages from Gina.
Fuck. Brain's kind of just closing her eyes and being like, I don't fucking know how to deal with this.
So Claire, they're talking about something and sharing a phone that you can't see.
That's okay. I'm tippy-tapping away on my laptop.
Okay.
So unless they say that it's of interest.
Here's something that's gonna kind of catch you off guard, though. You're going to just be... Are you checking your social feeds or something like that? Or doing personal stuff, or?
Yeah, and looking at, like, yeah, probably, like, Twitter for, like, news and stuff.
Okay. So you'll see that there are quite a few posts on the page, as Twitter tends to have, as well as a number of posts from from a lot of local news you follow, a lot of Japanese sites that you follow, as well as you'll have a DM from Gina, that from about 4 hours ago.
Okay, best not leave her hanging. Click.
What's that?
Said best not to leave her hanging. I'll click it.
All right, as you click it, it'll load the message, and it says really succinctly, I'm going to try the walkabout thing again. Wish me luck.
Walkabout thing. The walkabout thing?
Yeah, remember? When she's exhausted and sleeps,
oh, yeah.
She projects out of her body.
She does.
And she was talking about how she actually wanted to, yes. Sorry, just double checking. I'm like, wait, no, that wasn't Marissa, was it? No, Marissa's not a wolf letter. What am I doing? They're very similar characters in my mind for some reason.
Oh.
Wish me luck.
Crap.
Oh.
Yeah.
The send button is gone for you.
Oh.
And you'll see a little bit of text at the bottom of the screen that says something along the lines of, you can no longer respond to this message. You know enough about social media to know what it looks like when you've been blocked.
Well, that's not good.
How do we fix this?
Megan will kind of like pull her head up. Fix what?
Pass phone.
I'm gonna look over at Claire.
Claire.
Mm-hmm.
Kate just got a text from
Who
Gina.
is it from? Yeah.
She says she saw everything.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I don't think we can fix this.
I don't think we can. No. We could try, but I
think trying now would make it worse.
there is that.
We might be able to talk to her again, giving time.
Later.
Kate, your phone will buzz. You have a text message again.
I will hand it back.
It's from Marissa. Oh, sorry, I was in the shower. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah. Glad you're okay.
Your phone starts ringing. From Nicholas's.
Oh. Answer.
Turn on the TV.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
Turn. Someone.
I'll find the remote.
Local news. As you turn it, there is a shot, an overhead shot from a news copter showing Mount St. Joseph Hospital, surrounded by police cars and a number of ambulances and fire trucks. As you watch and gives the report, with whatever cover story seems to fit, all that kind of blurs into the background as you just hear the reporter's voice echo in your mind. More than 12 are dead and over 30 wounded here at Mount St. Joseph Hospital. We've never seen a tragedy like this at a Vancouver hospital. Again, 12 dead, more than 30 wounded. And with that, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back, everybody. Let's try to be upbeat.
Trauma.
Trauma. All right, trauma bathroom break. Whee! And we're back. Ooh, it should have transitioned, but it just kind of flicked. Hello, welcome back to Werewolf the Forsaken, the Bitches of Brewery Park, Season 2, Episode 4, The Broken Moon. Now, before we go back into play, Amy, you're having some dessert because you missed your dinner tonight, and it looks like what again?
Looks like gore.
So you went. It looks like gore.
Has berry sauce on it.
Oh, that's great. That's perfect. I love it. I love it.
Really funny.
Love it so much. It's so bad. All right, so there we go. Get a light rain going in the background. I can go for a better rain than that. One sec. So how are you guys doing?
Really miss doing this in person and actually being able to hear what you put on.
So if you want, go to rainymood.com and just have that on in the background over your headphones. Hello. It's got a little too much thunder to really be Vancouver, but...
Rain mood number 1, rain sounds?
Rainy mood.
Yeah, rainymood.com. The first thing that pops up is
mine just
underneath it.
Mine just automatically plays what it is. Days pass, and you spend your time, Megan, wandering around the edges of your territory. Your Gore-Tex jacket sheds most of the rain, and Daisy has one of those little rain slickers that keeps her mostly dry except for the tip of her head that sticks out awkwardly on either side of the dog-shaped hood that doesn't quite cover that giant noggin of hers. Her muzzle is completely drenched as she snorts around in trash and marks territory inside of your territory. It would be so much easier if you could just do it that way. You've spent 3 days wandering around. It's now April 7th. Yeah. It's April 7th, so this is the third day since. Which means that as the moon rises tonight, it will be solidly in Brighton's auspice. Now, as you've wandered around the neighborhood, there are some things that have been catching your attention. What have you been working on mostly? Just securing your area?
Basically, just patrolling, like, the whole sense that the Pure had given her that they had better knowledge of her territory than she did, and had better control of her territory than she did, would have just rankled like a thorn in the paw, like, or a splinter under the skin that just had to come out.
Both are eligible for werewolves, so that works.
Especially since, like, that's our totem thing too, in a lot of ways. Territory is a big part of it, so I think she'll have spent a lot of time just covering all of the ground, like every street she can. Like, it's almost an obsession at this point, I think, right now, to just cover every piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably keeping aware for any other werewolf scents, particularly those Pure, or any signs that they could be somewhere, which is an awful lot and is very ambiguous, so she doesn't necessarily know what she's looking for.
Which is why it's really hard for her to find anything. Occasionally there will be a little sniff, a little something that rankles her and makes her think that she might be onto something. The scent of a werewolf passing nearby? No, similar. Or maybe this was days ago and it's just lingered on this location, a bit of musk. It's almost mocking. The dog sniffs around. For the first time in about 15 minutes, you pass someone as you're walking down what normally would be a very heavily populated street. In the distance, you can hear a motorcycle blare by. The sound of an ambulance in the distance brings you back and reminds you again and again of the hospital. The only people that are out in force at this time are essential workers. And of course, the homeless. As you walk by, a woman sits under an awning, the rain torrentially falling all around. It's a little past 4 in the afternoon, and the sky is slate gray, full of iron filing storm clouds. She has a sign in front of her that says, "Anything helps." But you have trained observer as a merit, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I have professional training is what I have.
All right. As you approach, she'll smile up at you. And she's pretty young, actually. Maybe late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Still has a very solid smile. Not too dirty. Looks to be in fairly good health, actually. Anything helps.
Trying to think, would I have any change on me?
Roll a die. If it's above 7, you do.
It's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, you have a few coins on you just in case you need to buy something out of a vending machine, or, you know, just in case.
All right. I'll drop a couple bucks and just kind of give her a nod, and
the dog will sniff at her boot heels. And she's wearing Blundstones.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, she looks maybe without the exhaustion, and maybe she's late college age, grad school age. And as you throw money into the little plastic Tupperware bin she has set in front, she'll smile and lean forward. "Thank you. You're blessed, my lady."
That's an odd phrasing. I think. I'm not gonna actually say that out loud, but
okay.
I'm saying that as like a player thing. That's a bit weird. Do I notice anything about her? No, since I've actually focused on her enough to.
I want you to make me a wits and composure roll, or you know what? No, I want you to make me a wits and empathy roll.
Okay. Does body language count for this?
Yes, it absolutely does.
Sweet. All right. You'll be thrilled to know this is one of them I have 9 again on. This is one of my professional training ones.
And you will botch.
Nope.
Okay, well, I tried.
3 successes.
3 successes. As you take a look at her, you will see... just one moment. Her eyes, as she looks at you, are very, very dilated. She's probably high on something. Either that, or there's something probably a little wrong with her. But she's speaking to you in a religious tone that's slightly reverent. There's definitely something wrong here. You're sure about it. But more than that, you don't appear to believe that she's putting anything on. She seems to be being sincere.
Okay.
I won't tell anyone that you are out here. Don't worry.
For what? Just walking my dog.
What a good little one on 4 legs. You run very fast on 4 legs, don't you? I'm sorry, lady.
I'm gonna get a good whiff of her scent.
Leaning in, you'll take a deep breath. And as you're doing that, you'll hear the sound of tires behind you.
Mm-hmm.
An SUV. A white one pulls up behind you against the curb, and the back door opens. A lovely woman in her late 30s is sitting in the back seat. A very stocky man in the front, and a young Asian man in the passenger side looks out at you through a pair of sunglasses. The woman in the back leans forward. Jenna, you're not supposed to be out. Come on, let's get you home. I'm very sorry, lady. Old habits. The homeless girl stands up, brushes herself off, bows so deeply to you that she splits at the waist. Very sorry. I didn't mean to trouble you, lady. Please.
I'll just smile.
Do you grace me with your smile, split like a shining moon? Do you bless me? Jenna, get in the car.
Do I have any idea what the hell is going on?
You have no idea at all. Or do you?
Don't know. I will wish her a good day and a happy life. Sort of thing.
She'll back away, and as she does, you see that she is smiling so wide that her cheeks look like they might cramp. And yet, in the rain, it's hard to tell, but you are pretty sure that she's weeping. Or maybe it's just the way that she's smiling as she backs into the car.
I'm gonna get a good look at the other people in the car too, because they weirded me out as well.
The man behind the driver's seat is a stocky built white man with a shaved head who looks like the type of guy who probably works on a dockyard, something like that. That kind of big English chav looking guy. The one who's sitting in the passenger seat with a pair of sunglasses on is a Chinese man in his late 20s, dressed in a business suit. His collar's undone, and he's not wearing a tie, but the suit itself is crisp and clean. And the woman in the back is lovely. And make me a wits and composure roll, please, at a -1 just because of conditions, and it's sight-based.
Okay. Two.
One moment, just jotting down a note. As you look up, you'll see something. Just as she slides over and pulls the door of the SUV shut, there's no scent coming off of them that strikes you as strange. Just humans. Even with your human-shaped nostrils, you can't detect anything weird. But as she reaches forward, she's wearing a very loose top with an empress waistline. Very flowing arms. And as she pulls the door shut, it flops a bit. And that's when you can see that on her forearm, she has a mark on it that looks just like one of Claire's auspice brandings. A tattoo. The door shuts. She smiles and bows as the car drives away. Now each of you is branded by the loons with a swirling mark denoting your auspice, as well as various bits of renown that you've gained. Each one is like a silver tattoo that blazes on your flesh when in the shadow. Humans usually can't see those. Unless some werewolves get them stylistically tattooed onto their normal flesh as well. I don't know if any of you have. It seems like something that some of you would do. But I don't think Claire has them. I don't think her background would make that the friendliest thing to do to her body.
No, she definitely wouldn't have.
All right. You're still thinking about this later that night. You agreed to meet everyone on the other side of the locus. It was time to gather together and start doing some work again. Pull together from the independent projects that you'd all been working on. And so, after you took the dog home from your walk, you decided, as you crossed into the spirit world a little bit early, Megan, it was time for a run. It wasn't long before you found the person that you're looking for. That's not it. I meant this. As you cross over, it's only a few moments before you are able to find that spirit, your friend, the wolf, who, as soon as you come into range and shift down into Urhan, the wolf form, he looks over at you, his fur so familiar. He yips a few times across the purpled landscape. And you can hear that voice carry across in first tongue that you remember so well from your childhood. Your father's voice. Run. We run.
Yes. Let's run.
Can't catch. And with that, he turns and takes off running from you.
And I will spring full blast.
All right. And with that, you go and run around your territory, keeping an eye on everything. Kate, your wound hasn't healed quite yet, but it's almost healed. You can feel the scar tissue knitting its way across your bleeding, weeping flesh. It's not pussing much.
How many times have I had to redo the stitches? Because I pulled them.
Because you pulled them?
Yeah.
You know what? Only 3 times.
You know, could be worse.
What have you been spending all of your time doing?
Kate's been, after checking in with everyone and making sure everyone was alive, at least. She's very quickly gonna turn to anger and go and break things.
Okay, that sounds good. You easily will find a place to go and break things, but it's what I'm worried about before then, actually, is how much you broke things that can't be repaired. Because a day after the hospital, when they started releasing the casualty list and the injury list, there are 2 things that you would have probably noticed. You may have told the other pack members, or you may not have. You probably would have been compulsively checking casualty lists and death lists. And when they released preliminary ones, you'll know none of your pack members were on it, which was a great relief. Until you saw 2 things. And the first was that a local minor celebrity named Christopher Price, who was slated to be in an upcoming CW superhero drama, had been badly injured in the events at the hospital, which were being blamed on faulty wiring triggering a gas explosion. There's no video of it. The wounds match a lot of that. The amount of bodies that were strewn around. Christopher Price remains in critical condition. He's not dead. Who is dead, though? You don't read. Because someone else was reading and called you. It is the only time that you think you have ever heard Marissa Wong cry. All she would say over and over, "He's dead." He's dead. Greg is dead. When you finally get more out of her, you went to the hospital. You went to the hospital. That's Kate. It's... It's all my fault. A week and a half ago, when they were starting to talk about how we needed to start not going out anymore, I convinced him to go to a house party where a bunch of people ended up testing positive. It was my fault. I had him out there and he ended up getting COVID. And then he went into the doctor to get tested because he was starting to show symptoms. And I'm not showing symptoms, and I don't know why not, but he did. He got it there. You said you were there. You said you were there at the hospital. Who did this? You could have promised me. You could have... I know you tried to stop it. I know that you wouldn't let anything like that happen to Greg if you could help it. I know you would have tried to stop it. Please, please, for the love of fuck, tell me that you're gonna get the people who did this or the things that did this and you're gonna fucking make them pay. Please. Fucking promise me.
I promise. The ones who are responsible for all of this tragedy will be done. We'll get what they deserve.
Were they like you?
No. They were... I can't really explain it, but they're worse.
Promise me you'll kill him.
Yeah. I'll try. Because we should have... None of this should have happened. But we lost, and we weren't expecting them, and I'm sorry. If anything, it's my fault. Because I should have...
Don't be sorry, be angry. They took him. I can't kill him, but you can.
Yeah.
That's what you do, right? You kill things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm...
Don't stop.
I won't. I gotta go. But,
Yeah.
I'll...
Bye.
Yeah.
And she hangs
Bye.
up. And that's the conversation that plays through your head. That lie that plays through your head. What are you smashing? What's good enough for that, Kate?
Everything.
Where are you going to smash it?
Where was I when I took the call?
Where would you have been when you where would you have been on that second day? In your apartment? In the den? Out for a walk? Doing inventory at your job when it tried to... Oh, no, you're not working at all. I was going to make a reference about essential businesses being a t-shirt shop. Because EB tried that. Where would you have been?
Probably in the basement of the den.
You start smashing and you don't stop. You avoid the locust because why would you? You wouldn't deface it that way, but the old brickwork and the copper stills that aren't the main one, the old holding areas and the stacks and stacks of old antiqued beer bottles, the barrels that are could probably sell for hundreds of dollars to old museums shatter underneath your fists and underneath your fangs if you shift up. Or would this all be in... All right.
Actually, no. She would do all of this in like human form as much as she could, unless she loses her temper fully. Though she may try to go across the locust and wreck any spirits that seem like they're...
You just take it out on spirits that are nearby.
Possibly. Once she can't finish wrecking things in her...
In a rage, you cross over, having left a pile of broken glass and wood and bits of copper strewn about the floor. You cross over, and to the purple-smeared landscape, you can see spirits congregating around the base of the locust, like they always do, respectfully at a distance, maybe disrespectfully, when you are not nearby, when they want a little drink. They're moochers. They're bottom feeders. And you start to tear and beat them. They're so far under you that you're such a high-ranked spirit by comparison, and that even your bare knuckles will punch through the ephemera. They screech and tear apart like black and white drawings turning to ink when you tear them. And you do this for quite some time. Tearing into spirits of blood, spirits of urban decay, and spirits of construction, spirits of commerce. You tear a walking $5 bill, or a man comprised of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bills wrapped around like a mummy. You smash a man made of brickwork, or a humanoid made of brickwork with legs like a dump truck.
And then she'll howl a lot.
And as you do, you'll feel a familiar, warm touch wrap around you. The glowing shape of your loon. It says in first tongue. Don't cry, Half Moon. What does your loon look like? Is it a woman? Is it a feminine form? Is it androgynous? Is it masculine? Does it have the shape of a loon or the shape of a jackal to its head?
I think it honestly looks like a weird shadowy, half shadow, half glowy wolf thing.
Straight down the center?
I think it looks like it tries to be, except it keeps blending in on each other.
So right now it looks vaguely like a woman with the legs of a wolf and tail of a wolf. It needs arms to hold you. It holds you from behind, wrapping its shadowy and somehow glowing little pockets of moonlight bursting out from beneath the clouds of its flesh. Elidoth, no. What's wrong?
I can't. I want to make them pay, but I can't reach them. I can't reach. Because they won. Not.
They only won for now.
Basically, first tongue snarling, I would need to break them.
You will. We will
you help?
I will always help you, my Eladoth. She strokes your hair. Come. Your territory is important. Your loss is important. But they're not all that you are. Come. Be with me and revel in all of the things that they are not. On the other side of failure is victory. On the other side of territory is rife for conquest. On the other side of life is death. Stay with me a while. Let us live.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Then run from me. And with that, you lose almost a full day running and tearing and rending and hurting. And it feels really good. Go ahead and regain a willpower from Destroyer if you aren't at full. By the way, everyone should regain 3 points of willpower from sleeping for 3 days.
That should now put me at full.
Nice.
Because you probably used willpower to break more things.
That's true.
I was gonna say, how much willpower do you have?
So, what I would really love is, I'm just going to check something real quick out of the book and see if anybody there. So just give me 1 second, Amy, and then we'll be right back in. What's your harmony right now?
My harmony is currently at 6, it looks like.
Okay. So... Nice. Okay, so you didn't stay nearly long enough. If you would have stayed for a week, you'd have a check, but that's it.
Yeah, no.
So you run with your loon. So one quick thing, though, about your description of the loon. I just wanted to make it stated just so that it's on the record. Loons generally don't have anything to do with wolves, aside from unless they choose to. So
I think I think it was a choice thing.
That she does that to appeal to you?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. It's like dyeing your hair because someone likes the color of it. Got ya. And she's a shapeshifter. She can be whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah. And plus, I saw a picture of one that was specifically like one that looked like a wolf, and I was like, that looks really cool. So yeah.
Send me a photo of that later, just so that I see what you're kind of imagining, so that I can put it forward.
Sure.
But yeah, so just for people in the chat or people who are watching later who are big werewolf fans, that they're two separate things, but loons also are whatever the hell they feel like at the moment. So.
And if it's trying to tempt her.
Yeah.
Sure is.
I think that was a very seductive loon, to be honest. Like, if you don't go back to your fiance, you should hook up with the loon. It happens.
Neither of those situations would be good.
No, oh no. Which one would be worse? You know what would be the worst thing? Trying to get a U-Haul van into the spirit world. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
I know that joke never gets old for me. All right. Sorry, I had to break the tension. It's been like I had to do a bunch of flash crying, so you know how it is. Claire, you rap on the door.
I would have texted first, but then not really waited for an answer.
Okay. You were let in at the front door by someone who was leaving. They eyed you up and down, and it was an old man. Vaguely Caucasian, but too wrinkled to really notice. He gave you the once-over and then decided it probably wasn't worth arguing, even with a pandemic on, and held the door open. You have a mask on? Okay.
Yeah. just for the record.
I mean, as you headed in, he... muttered past you. You make your way up to Ross's apartment and rap on the door. A moment later, the door opens. Just a crack, the chain's still on. And Ross is standing on the other side. He's wearing a pair of slightly loose pajama pants. His underwear just visible on top of them, proclaiming Joe Boxer across his abdomen. He has a neat set of scars that, where was he injured again? He was injured, he was shot in the leg, and he was slashed across the chest by you, wasn't he?
I think so.
It's still pink and healing over, and you can see where, let's see, it's been over a month, so the stitches probably would be out by now, and it would just be like a really tender scar tissue, probably. And he opens the door and looks at you. His hair is a little disheveled, and he's... The first thing you see, besides his slightly perplexed face, is the scar across his bare chest. Hey.
Hi.
Hold on, I just got your message. Help.
I texted.
You did. You did. Thanks for the text.
I tried. I just needed to talk to someone.
He'll shut the door, slide the chain off, and reopen it for you. You come on in. Here, and he'll slide open the entryway closet so you can drop your shoes off.
Perfect.
I'm gonna grab a shirt. Sorry, I was sleeping.
Sorry.
No. It's okay. It's actually my day off. I worked an overnight last night, so I'm gonna grab a shirt. And he walks away. The extra time basically has been fairly good to him, to be honest. A bit of time laid up has meant that most of the baby fat that he still had on his frame has been mostly taken care of, and what you see as he walks away is a rather wolfish and lean back, marked with a couple of small scars. He'll come back a moment later with a baggy Vancouver PD t-shirt on, and to lead you into a rather Spartan living room. It's got some photos on the wall. Looks like family members. His mother, who's surprisingly cute, actually. She's tiny, but has really large, pudgy cheeks. And she smiles really wide whenever she's in a photo with her family. Not so wide when she's by herself. He has a television, and you can see that it's been on pause for a while. It looks like as he leads you into the living room, he quickly throws the blanket and pillow off of the couch. And turns the TV off from where it was on... it looked like it was on a disconnected controller menu for... Let's see, this is... looks like he was playing Death Stranding last night. And fell asleep playing it. The grayed out image of the game still ghostly on the screen as he turns it off. Sure. Do you want something to drink? I have coffee and tea and beer.
What time is it?
Right now? Is this today or is this yesterday?
Probably about 2 days in, or it could have been the third day.
We'll say it's 2 days in. So what time is it? What time would you have gone by?
Probably early afternoon.
Okay. So, it's after drinking time if you wanted to start.
No, she'll probably, I think some tea would be fine if that's, actually, I'm alright with water. Is that okay?
Yeah, anything's okay.
Thanks.
Just give me a sec, okay?
Okay.
He'll go and grab ice.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. It's not a bad place. It is what it is. It's not a condo. so it's not quite as clean, but it's tidy. He doesn't keep too much stray stuff around here. He'll come back a minute later, hand you a glass of ice water, and sit down on the couch on the other side. What's up?
Well, we hadn't talked in a while, and I was kind of wondering how you were doing. And I also just really needed to talk with someone who wasn't one of the 3 other girls.
Yeah.
Someone that I'm more close to.
I'm not like the other girls.
Yeah, I know.
I'm really sorry. I should have made more of an effort to talk to you recently.
No, I should have as well. It's not your fault.
So what's up? You can...
A lot of stuff happened a few days ago, and I just need to talk with you. But how are you doing?
I'm solid. I'm talking about what Kate sent in her message.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know how it all happened exactly, but we were fighting others, and all of a sudden everything went black, and then we woke up and everything had happened. It's really hard to explain, it's really confusing.
You, was it kind of like what happened at the construction site?
Yes. On a bigger scale.
So you guys are the ones who did all of that? No?
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know.
That's not you. I've been thinking a lot about it. That's not who you are, Claire. I mean, that's the wolf is a part of you, but that's not you. It's not all you are. You know?
Thank you.
I should have reached out to you sooner so that you knew that it's not your fault. Like this, he gestures to his chest and side. When you get like that, you can't control it.
Yeah.
But that's what makes you guys the ones that have to handle stuff. Because nobody can control you, so you can do the stuff that has to be done. I get it. You guys are basically... Bad shit happens. But you're the only ones who can kind of meet that bad shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. We do our best.
It's kind of like how people say that, like...
From us.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of what people think about cops, too, you know? Like, there's a lot of bad cops, but, I mean, what else are you gonna do? That's why I'm a cop, because somebody's gotta be there.
Mm-hmm. And they're lucky to have you.
No, we're lucky to have you.
So, are you healing alright?
Yeah, you missed all the vital spots.
Oh, that's good. I guess I'll have to try harder next time.
I don't know whether or not you're kidding or not, but
No, really though. I'm glad it's healing.
Yeah, normally when a girl leaves a mark, it fades in a couple of days, so I guess you could say you really left your mark on me.
I mean, I don't want to say it was all part of the plan, but
Isn't that like the pack's whole thing?
Yeah, I guess it is.
So are you saying that I belong to the pack, or?
Well, you can take it however you want to take it.
But, he's gonna lean in and try to kiss you.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Kiss him back.
She'll kiss him back. Sorry.
Kiss him back. All right. Good. You basically like cut him over the heart and then said like he doesn't need too many more signals.
Awkward werewolf lady?
All right. So, are you going to break it off, or are we just going to kind of? Are you going to talk more, or?
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk just a little bit more.
Okay,
So I should
absolutely.
probably like push him back. And
Sorry, should I?
No, it's fine. I just wanted to. I think we all really need to talk about what happened that night, though. When we're ready.
Yeah. Anytime.
Okay. Maybe I think we should all talk together, though. So I'll have everyone around.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect.
Sorry, everything went off the rails.
That's okay. I know what I'm signing up for when I'm with you.
Good.
Good. Netflix?
Sure. What are you watching lately?
A lot of Teen Wolf.
I've actually never seen it.
And I think I'm gonna segue out of there. Tell me if you guys chilled later.
Kiss a man. He's been
What?
through so much.
Oh yeah.
So, God, this is just like fan fiction episode for you guys. So good.
Oh, cute.
Werewolves can
Yeah,
have
we
a
ripped
little
our
kiss.
characters to shreds, and now we're
As a
slowly
treat.
putting them back together in cute situations.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you don't think you would have gone that way? Sorry, I sent Jen a private message. Okay. It's been a rough 3 days. And as you spend, Clara, you spend some time with your good friend, across the city. It's the morning, no, afternoon, when you're supposed to be meeting up. Brighton's bedroom is awash in the smell of unwashed bodies and sweat. There's discarded food containers from delivery strewn about the floor. And empty baggies of various drugs and other chemicals. But right now, what's gripping deep inside of her mind and pushing pleasure to the surface over any type of pain is that last hit of ecstasy that she had squirreled away. She moves her hips with a grinding grace on top of the man beneath her. And she doesn't really pay attention to anything except for the sensation of power and control. She knows right now that the man beneath her could crack like an egg, that she could shift up and crush him eat him. For a brief moment in her intoxicated state, she thinks about it. Could be fun. It's a little sexy, actually. You are a little hungry. And then you'll hear, a little too tight. A little too tight. And you can see where your thumbs, Brighton, are placed around the side of his trachea as you're gripping his throat with both hands, and the skin's gone white around it from how tight the grip is. Do you loosen up, or?
I think I take a beat of like that slight tightening, and then I release.
Okay. He soon does as well. And a few minutes later, as you're laying on the sheets, sweaty and exhausted, although much less exhausted in your case, more lethargic, like a dog after a good run. You could do it again, but for now, you're enjoying lazing on the warm sheets. He leans over into your ashtray and hands you another spiff, lighting it up for you. And soon the room is a delicate haze. You don't really kind of remember his name? Do you remember what it is?
I don't think I care.
You don't think you care? Okay. What does he look like? Who's the guy that would have been a friend of Link's, or would have been a guy that you knew from before?
He's probably got that like scrawny beanpole look to him, where he's probably had more drugs than food, but isn't at the point of like being completely emaciated. He's just the kind of guy that
So he's definitely, you watch Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Is he a Klaus?
That kind of build, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, just from the neck down.
Yeah.
Like the swimmer bod type of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, he's not unattractive. He's not particularly attractive. He's rather fish-lipped, with bright dyed hair, and wearing a solid amount of mascara, probably. I'm kind of picturing he looks like the lead singer of Mariana's Trench.
Okay.
Yeah. How you doing? That was kind of nice.
Good.
Here, he'll get up and stumble nakedly across your room over to his backpack, this old weathered black over shoulder that he dropped next to the door when he came in. Reaching inside, he'll pull out a small baggie of pills. What did you want out of this? You said you got a lot of work to do, so I've got some Adderall. I've got...
Yeah, that'd help.
Yeah, you bet it would. This is name brand, too. This isn't the generic.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a good score.
Yeah, you were. And he'll toss the baggie onto your body. That's a gift.
Thank you.
I was surprised to hear from you. It's been a while.
It has.
I kind of miss seeing you.
Hmm.
You're looking really good. You put on some weight, but like in a good way, you know? You were really... I don't know, you look like you're treating yourself well. I like that. I like seeing you do well.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Yeah. You wanna... Hey, Brighton. You hear Link's voice come through the door. Hey, I'm coming in. You
All
got
right.
my, You say yeah?
Yeah, I'm like not moving an inch, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
He opened the door and walks in, pulling headphones off of, or pulling his earbud out of his ear as he walks in, and immediately pauses, seeing this dude standing completely or squatting completely naked in the middle of the room, you laying on the bed completely naked, like maybe a sheet covering like a part of you.
Yeah.
Well, hi, sailor. You have my...
Yeah.
dick. Jesus, put that away, bro. You still have that copy of... Okay.
Do you need to concentrate? I'm just gonna pull the sheet up and be like, that help?
Sure. Yeah, I should probably be going anyway.
Yeah.
He'll walk over and pull his jeans up without bothering to find the underwear he didn't bring with him. And, that's just uncomfortable. I don't get it. But anyway. And then, pulls on a shirt and throws on, the leather jacket he wore on top of that and smiles and heads out, pushing past Link. The front door shuts. Are you fucking him again?
Not regularly.
What the hell is that guy's name?
If I know.
I saw him at Terry's party. Fuck, what is his name? I know that guy. He's not good people, dude. What the... No, I'm not good people. I know he's not good people. Do you know that is
I'm not good people.
You're not that bad. I mean, none of us are good people, but like he's a real piece of shit. Don't put...
Yeah.
Don't.
He's a good fuck. I mean, what can I say?
You're high enough right now. Look at you. You're high enough. A shower nozzle would be a good fuck.
Oh, that makes me think. She's gonna like get up, like just drop the sheet entirely and like start walking towards the bathroom.
I'm not gonna look away. I'm not a shrinking violet. When did you get that tattoo?
What do you need? I need to wash the smell off.
Yeah, you go do that, okay?
Yeah.
I was coming in to get my lighter and my box set of Fringe, but like...
Sure, whatever.
Oh, wait. Where's my lighter? My Zippo, my nice one.
Is it like on the dresser? I don't know.
That motherfucker took my Zippo! Oh, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, alright. I'm gonna take some of the Adderall and like
take some of the Adderall to sober up.
Yeah, and head into the shower and just have a cold shower.
All right, so you are going to be in the shower for a couple of minutes when suddenly you are going to feel that the whole thing gets much colder all of a sudden. The water pressure gets a little weaker and the water goes cold, shocking you back up, and that's when you feel you haven't really had much to eat in the past day. The takeout containers are from a day and a half ago. Empty stomach plus Adderall in about 15 minutes of lazing in the shower. You're going to feel it start to kick in. Your bowels will rumble a little bit. You're going to feel that strange yet familiar pressure in the front of your brain that tells you that it is kicking in and starts shifting you into overdrive. You start paying attention to the little bits of water molecules that are hitting you in the face one by one. Even in the stream, you can almost tell each one individually for a moment before it all blurs back to a normal process for your brain. And
that is the good stuff.
you'll hear out in the hallway, "Fuck, Logan! Logan Thatcher! I knew that fuck!" You spend the rest of the time washing yourself off. What are you thinking about while you're in the shower? What else have you been doing over the past couple of days, aside from going through an entire bender?
Yeah, I think I've just been essentially trying to shut my brain off because I don't want to think about what I did. What any of us did.
The door to the bathroom will open. You'll hear footsteps, and you'll be able to see the outline of Link as he walks in and sits on the toilet. The lid shuts before he does so. Hey. So you're welcome.
For what?
I just put all your fucking sheets in the laundry. So enjoy the cold shower and maybe, like, you know, here, and you'll hear and over the shower curtain, you'll see a little brown bottle reach to you. I know the water's probably fucked right now, but have you ever had a shower beer?
I'll reach up.
Here, hold on. He goes out, and you can hear the sound of a couple of clicks coming from the hallway where the laundry unit is in, like, a little half closet. And suddenly, as the rinse goes from hot to cold, the water pressure will equalize a little bit, and the heat will return. And suddenly, you're drinking a nice cold beverage and a steaming shower.
That is pretty good.
I told you. Link sits back down on the toilet.
Yeah. Thanks.
You know I love you, right?
Love you too, man.
Yeah. You got me fucked. I am really worried about you, and I don't know how to vocalize that because I haven't had as much therapy as I probably need. I trust you to know what you are doing, okay? But I just want to put into perspective, because I know that you've been kind of busy, like, being a super fucking werewolf.
Yeah.
So, like, you are delivering drugs for, like, you're delivering coke for Raj? Or to Raj?
Yeah.
Okay, you're delivering coke, and then you're fucking Logan fucking Thatcher? Dude, that guy is...
yeah.
Did you use a condom?
Brayton tries to think.
I'm not going to determine it. Your call.
Fair. Yeah, of course. That's what she says. I'll figure out later whether or not it's actually true, but that's what she says.
If you get, like, full moon gonorrhea, what does that do? Oh, God. And then all of these... Do you know how many texts I've gotten from Kate in the past 2 days? So whatever you're doing, you're free. People are... Look, I'm a lot of shit, but I'm not a hypocrite, so I'm not going to try to lecture you on this, actually. I'm just worried about you. Okay?
Yeah.
And the next time that somebody asks you to deliver a brick of cocaine, you call me. I'll do it for you, okay?
I want to say that it won't happen again, but...
I don't care if it's going to happen again. You just call me. You have places to be.
Okay. You're
important.
So are you.
We all have our own stuff to do. A hand with a beer will jut into your shower suddenly. Here, cheers.
Mm-hmm. Cheers.
I don't have a bottle, so I had to go. Wait, hold on. I forgot I had a glass of water, so. And with that, you take the rest of your shower, using all the hot water in your house.
I think if Link leaves me alone in there,
Mhm.
that Brighton's going to start crying in the shower.
Sure.
But if he stays there, she's going to hold it together.
All right. He's going to give you space at that point. Cool. That's hit peak emotion for Link. He's got to go.
Fair.
Your shower will only be interrupted after about... It's hard to tell how long. The distance between hot water and lukewarm verging on cool, is when you'll suddenly hear a loud knock at the door, and a very tired roommate named B. Brighton, I know you're going through some shit right now, but can you hurry up? I have to piss like a mule.
Give me 30 seconds. I'll be out. And I'll turn off the water and essentially just wrap a towel around myself and head out.
And she'll go inside and slam the door immediately, kind of doing the most adorable pee dance you've ever seen this incredibly serious gothy roommate do.
Yeah.
With that, you get back here in that weird state between so many drugs. I would really like you to go ahead and give me a stamina plus resolve roll to try to maybe sober yourself up a little.
Ooh.
I want you to penalize this by... Okay, so you've had at least probably 3 hits of pot. You've had a beer, you've had a pretty sizable dose of Adderall, and you're probably riding off some E. So that's all mixing together in a really fun cocktail. So what's your primal urge?
2.
Okay, give it to me at -2. Because primal urge is great.
Cool. I had the number in my head. Right, there it is. Ooh. 3 successes.
3 successes. So you're gonna basically be like a little bit glazed on this, but you're gonna mostly sorry, I checked something on my phone, kind of caught me off guard. Our totals for Extra Life are quite large now. So keep donating, guys. You are going to be very kind of a little spacey, but mostly sober enough to function. And that's when you're going to realize, when you start to get dressed and changed, that it's about time to meet at the locus. Or
good.
Yes, because this is day 3 for you.
Yep, it is. All right, let's do this.
All right, and as you head out, all of you will reconvene together there at the locus. You all cross through, coming to meet each other for the first time in a day or two on the other side of the locus, in the shadowy space that is your den. on the other side. Those of you passing through from the physical world in the past day will have noticed that there is a large amount of debris, and a number of the things that Val always kept in that part of the locust that also functioned as a bit of her workshop are smashed. Looks like someone took one of her crafting hammers and just wailed on everything. As you step across, Ubatu, your totem, stands there, actually sits there on his hind legs, staring at you with his slightly glowing eyes. What now? Hello?
Don't know.
We need answers.
I think we need to keep our eyes peeled for the pure.
Yeah.
They've supposedly been. It seems like they've been working behind the scenes constantly.
I don't think. And there's
just so many things that they're doing that supposedly are impossible.
I don't know about what they did to throw you across. That I will try to help you as much as I can. I have done searches over the past days. They are not nearby.
Yeah, I've been walking the territory.
See anything of note?
There was this one thing, but I don't know what it means. And I'll explain the encounter with the girl and the woman with the tattoo. Was I able to recognize what auspice it was?
So it's either I don't know. Claire.
Yes.
I don't know what a purity brand looks like. That's the problem. It looks like one of Claire's purity markings, though.
Claire, it looks like yours. That one on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Weird. Just hanging out there.
Yeah, it's on her wrist, and it just. It was very odd that she had that. She didn't smell like one of us. But the girl seemed to recognize what I was just by looking.
It's a
Cold
very
roll?
specific marking.
No.
Yeah, it's very specific. I don't think it would be an accident.
And Pure likely wouldn't have those sort of markings, right? Because they renounce that side of things.
Definitely, they still have spiritual brands given to them by spirits for renown.
Oh, okay.
You could see those when you were fighting them. At the
Okay, that's the sort of one I saw, right? Was a purity mark?
Yes.
Which is a renown.
Yes. So auspice would be your moon sign, but I say auspice branding, but it was actually just a purity mark.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming looks probably some type of circle or something like that. They don't really give examples, so we're going to say that it is a
cult roll?
I mean, we can leave it fairly ambiguous. I'm fine with that.
You can make me an intelligence and a call roll.
I will attempt this.
I'm actually wondering if purity brands are something that didn't translate into 2nd edition, because I can't really find them, but... I mean, I think it's cool if you get, spirit tattoos when you get more powerful, because then you can just walk up and be like...
One success.
One
I
success.
got a 9.
So what? Ask me a question. I'll tell you if I can answer it.
Do we know of any situations where non-Uratha would have spirit brands like that? Or
I mean, in theory, some wolf-blooded do become exalted enough that they can learn gifts. They're very rare, and they basically are very rare. Let me just put it that way. They have to be a very special type of wolf-blooded to be able to learn spiritual gifts, or they have to be ridden by a spirit, which is something some wolf-blooded are used for. You guys have considered weaponizing your wolf-blooded in that sense too. However, a spiritual brand usually isn't visible in
yeah.
in the normal plane. So seeing a tattooed one, it kind of reminds you of when people get something cool tattooed on them that they saw in a book. Like the number of people who have, and this is just no offense to anybody because some of our friends have this, but like the supernatural tattoo. Like they might, or maybe someone who gets like kanji tattooed on them but isn't from any type of Asian culture. Like it's just like it's a thing that they like, but you know, maybe they're not connected to it. Maybe they're connected to it in a different way. Maybe it's just something they think is really cool. You know, and it's just
To someone who's somehow been exposed to it or seen it somehow.
That's about all I can give you for one success.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll share that and be like, if they're not Uratha and they didn't seem like a wolf-blooded, like, no.
You'd remember if you found their smell again, right? You come across them again?
Think so. I recognize the girl, I think.
Okay.
The others, I mean, they were in a van. It was a little hard to get a hold of.
Well, that's all right.
You didn't take their plates numbers, did you?
No.
There.
But, I mean, for the most part, they smell human.
Yeah, that's weird.
What should we do? The spirits are in a bit of an uproar after the events at the hospital.
Yeah.
Many of them fear you.
Well,
probably didn't help with that.
We should probably go around and talk to some of them.
Yeah.
It would be worth it probably to see if we could get some of them to tell us if they spot another werewolf in our territory. We can afford to feed them some essence on a regular basis.
We need something. We need information. We need to get some sort of upper hand.
We don't have enough of us to be everywhere.
We need, sentries, essentially.
Yeah, I think we need to fortify our hold.
Definitely.
Before we continue following up. I mean, we can obviously keep looking into other stuff, but I think we need to make our base a stronghold.
I think we may need to talk to some of our allies and at least to let them know about whatever that plague spirit was, because there were more of them and they weren't all in our territory.
Oh no, they're in different hospitals.
But that means the pure are in everyone's territory, if that's what they're doing, if they were behind it all. So maybe we can help expand our sentries by expanding the network somehow.
I think potentially a quiet heads up to our allied packs that we fought pure.
That they found their way closer to us. Like it wasn't us fighting them at the borders.
No, it was they were in our territory.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, if they were on the border of our territory, they were in Forsaken territory. So it doesn't really matter.
I meant the borders of Forsaken territory. where it wasn't there. That's what I'm saying.
We caught them on our land.
Yeah.
And we fought them off, and they retreated.
Yeah.
But we did fight them.
Yeah.
And they were trying to do something.
As if we can call that them retreating.
You did a
Well,
kill.
they fucked off because we killed one of them, so.
There are plenty more to kill.
Yeah, there are.
So, I mean, we need to get better at that, but...
And they put us in a horrible, horrible situation.
You need to be stronger.
We do.
They shouldn't even be able to do that. What I understand. But they did, and now we have to assume that we don't know anything.
Yeah.
You killed one.
Yeah.
You know they died.
And then
they die.
But as a consequence, we killed a bunch of people.
I think they were always going to do that to us. They've obviously been planning for this. They knew too much about us, and they had too long to think and how we would react.
They've declared war on us.
We've always been at war with them.
No, but they've declared active engagement. They've said they're coming to claim the territory. This isn't just us, like, skirmishes. This is as I understand it.
We knew they were coming, though.
I know, but why here? Why this part in particular?
Probably because they thought we were the weakest. We kind of are.
Why not No Wolf's Land?
Anybody who wants to.
Maybe they're there too.
Can make me a wits and intelligence roll at a -3 because of the trauma from the incident.
Wits and intelligence -3?
Yeah.
Oof. Ooh, I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a willpower on that.
Me too.
This is an independent roll. This is not a group roll. You can't group remember something. We try. No. It doesn't work.
It never works.
1. You remember?
5 for me.
How many?
5. Legit. No rerolls even. All 9s and 8s.
Okay. And Kate. At least
-3. Hold on. Well, that's 2 9s.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So with that, you will all remember that the way one of them said it, the exact wording is kind of lost on you, except for Megan, who remembers it exactly. But you can go back and watch the episode because I didn't write down the exact wording. But that's something good. That basically states, "This used to be our land, and we're going to take it back." That seemed more targeted at you guys than Vancouver.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the brewery dogs have held this territory for more than 100 years. It's one of the oldest packs in the city.
Hmm.
Then again, Vancouver's been around a lot longer than 100 years. What are you thinking?
Okay. We don't know how they did what they did to us. We don't know how they shoved us across like that. What are the chances that we learn things from the spirits? So could they have learned that from a spirit? And if we go ask, would a spirit be able to tell us?
Maybe.
I imagine we'd have to find the right type of spirit.
Fair, but if we ask, we might get closer. I don't know.
I think we need to get our relationship with the spirits back up, and
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Let's see if we can consolidate our hold here.
Yeah.
Protect our borders. Get some of them watching for us. If we're just paying a little essence.
Yeah.
And I might be able to make a binding agreement with some of them, maybe.
That would be good. But I think we have to be careful on whether or not we bring anybody else in on this. Because all it's going to do is make us look weak. And they'll take over. They'll walk in and say, oh, well, you can't hold your territory. So we'll protect it from the pure. It's ours now.
Yeah.
Right? Like.
But if they're doing the same thing in other territories and other hospitals.
Well, it didn't necessarily say they were doing it in other hospitals. The spirit thing said.
Regardless of the pure are
They
involved.
had brothers elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. There's a difference between giving a warning to our allied packs and admitting weakness.
Yeah.
We do not admit weakness, but we will tell them.
We should tell them that we came across a spirit that claimed to be a child of Plague Shuck.
Yeah.
And that they claimed there was more across the city.
Yeah.
And warn them to check their territory for areas where illness spirits would gather.
There is also the woman in white.
Yeah.
That's another
We
one.
need to look into that and figure out what the hell is going on there.
Yeah.
I do not know
that...
if it has been reported, though.
What do you...
Some spirits. I had talked with them. Something is burning parts of the shadow.
Burning?
A fire spirit or something.
Wasn't there that one shed that seemed to have been impacted by a helio?
And your the house that
middle of the night?
The house that you fought in was burned down.
That could be connected with was the woman who got abducted and killed.
Why would
last of that pack?
They somehow drew this wrath of the sun spirit. Like
maybe
that pack just disappeared.
Yeah. There are like 3 or 4 different things we're dealing with right now, but all of them require us to go talk to spirits at least. Like you said, Megan, we need to shore up our defenses. We need to do that, and sooner rather than later. If we can't get answers right now, that's fine, as long as we can start that path. And then maybe we hear some chatter. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
There's still the
we need
matter
to
of
have
the
a strong
visual
base
and the hole in the gauntlet.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, we should probably. I mean, what if we try to swing by it every couple days to check on it? Because as long as they're not still working on it, it should heal up by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because it was the rat house that were nibbling away at it.
Yeah.
Claire, what are you thinking?
I do think that our first course of action should be to speak with the spirits and just get more hands on deck, more eyes.
Make some alliances.
Get a little bit more information, because we have a lot of information that's scattered about, but nothing we can really piece cohesively together.
I mean, we've been making a habit recently of not being particularly nice to spirits. So if we make some our friends, we'll have a more balanced image.
Yeah.
Megan.
Yeah?
Weren't you saying sometime last month that there was you saw someone who might be a spirit wandering around? Did we ever find out what happened with that?
I don't remember this at all.
I have a note here saying that Megan saw a man with gold eyes in brackets spirit in my notes.
Oh, I didn't say anything about that. That was on that.
No, you mentioned it though.
You did mention it.
Did I?
You mentioned
you
it
did.
to other people. Said there was a weird thing on a thing.
Yeah.
That was on the Spirit Skytrain
Right.
last episode. I think it was only.
It was.
Yes, there was a you
was
got
during
like
the
8
flashback.
successes to look out the window and notice this person watching you in slow motion.
Right.
I don't know. It was a guy with gold eyes.
Yeah.
There's a sudden flutter of motion, and overhead you will hear on the blasted open roof. There's a bird with an inky black body and feathers that jut out from impossible angles, with the face of a security camera. Bulbous with a single red eye in the center of its forehead. You will recognize this as one of your pack spirits. This is Gigi, Black-Headed Watcher.
Great.
Watching all.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any friends that can help?
Yeah.
Always watching. We are watching. We see. Looking.
Can you?
For what? Specify.
Werewolves in our territory. Pure.
No. Presently, no.
Can you notify us if any show up?
Yes. Am just one. Can only see what I see. Singular
Would
I.
others negotiate with us to help?
Yes. But you will have to make a deal.
We can do that.
We're open to that.
You need to meet the Watcher.
Can you guide?
Danger. Watcher. Choir. Watcher.
Benny?
King of choir.
Where find?
Oh.
Queen of choir.
Which choir?
Watching.
Oh.
All seeing.
Huh.
Information. Electric eye.
Yeah, that would.
That's what we need right now.
That's exactly what we need.
It is expecting you.
Oh, good.
Find
Now?
it.
Follow. And with that, Ijiji, your spirit surveillance bird, takes off into the sky.
Yes, now.
Guess now. Yep.
Wait, here or in the? Should we cross over?
You guys already crossed over. You're in the shadow.
Oh, okay,
You're in the
sorry,
shadow
yeah.
already.
Forget I said anything.
You forget? I did. What? Who said that?
Who said what?
All right. And with that, Ijiji flies off toward the Watcher, the electric eye.
Oh.
All
I
right,
don't
we
think it'll
follow,
wait
I
for us,
guess.
so.
Yeah.
Oh, right now. So she's gonna shift down to Urhan, is it?
Yeah.
Urhan?
Yep, Urhan. And just gonna go.
All right. You race
Yeah,
off
Sam.
behind the trailing feathers of your spirit friend. Ubatu running flank behind you, or running, I guess, tail behind you. Were you about to say something, Amy?
I was about to ask if my aggravated damage would have healed by now, because it was like 3 days after on my scene, and then this is a few days after that, I think.
This is the
can't remember
third day since. So you
okay, so no, it's not yet. then.
It'll heal. It'll be healed by the morning if you don't take any more.
Does my 1 point heal?
1 point of
Egg.
no, the ag is not healed.
Okay.
It will next game. All right, and with that, you race off into the night to go meet a mysterious head of a choir of surveillance, which could lead to a tremendous battle or to a powerful ally. But as you run off into the night, You run outside of your den and race across the landscape of the shadow. So much so that as you're intent on the hunt, elsewhere across the city, you can't see, or how could you? It's not even in this world, that a gathering of men and women in the basement of a building light a fire and shed blood in a circle. And as they chant and sing in trilling, howling tones, and build a little fleshy altar before pictures of each of you. And we're going to call game there for the night. I think that's a good place to go. Oh, I love it. 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 I hope I didn't bury the lead there too much. So, ooh, swallow some spit.
Oh no.
Oof.
Ooh, there we go. I did that when I was walking into a store the other day, and I'm like, I have to go home. Everyone's going to think I have the plague.
I know, I do that all the time. I'm behind my mask if I'm out. I'm just like, cough, cough. Oh, it's asthma.
I'm not sick, just stupid. That's what I... Yeah. Not sick, just can't breathe normally. Duh.
Just fail it, lungs. Yeah.
Alright, so that's going to be it for tonight's Werewolf the Forsaken game. Thank you very much for watching and for sitting through super emo o'clock and then weird sex scenes and then weird emotional moments on the toilet. Werewolf the Forsaken, weird emotional moments on the toilet. So yeah, do you guys have fun with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next game's going to be a little more action-packed, and then I'm not sure how long this season's going to be. There's a lot of layers in this season that you guys are just touching, and then I'm like, technically that's connected, but you guys got to find the connection. So it could be as many as 12 episodes. You might be able to do it in 8. Depends what you start killing.
Fair.
But hopefully you guys are feeling the city being much more fleshed out, and I think I'm definitely preferring season 2 over season 1. How about you?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I feel a lot more focused.
I feel a lot more comfortable in my character and in what we're doing here. So.
I'm glad. So Jen, I know that you never listened to. I'm pretty sure you didn't listen to the Requiem podcast. But you definitely, Brighton just slept with like a human ghoul or something. I think he was a ghoul.
Fair.
Oh, I thought I recognized that name.
Logan Thatcher's the piece of shit.
Logan Thatcher, the NPC I created during the ladder for Requiem, who keeps showing up and causing problems. He just is a problem. He's a walking problem.
He's a walking problem. He's a walking, talking, apparently screwing
problem. He caused problems at in our mage game.
He did. He caused problems in your mage game or in the mage LARP a number of times because NPCs cause problems everywhere.
Yep.
All right, guys. So I think this is a great place to call it tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that if you have a little bit of extra time and money, be sure to go to our Extra Life and donate some money for kids. We are really excited to be doing this, and tune in on Friday for another episode of Werewolf the Forsaken, and then Saturday and Sunday on August 22nd and 23rd for 3 games. It's gonna be a lot of games. I'm gonna be wearing like costumes and stuff. It's gonna be fun.
I have to finish plotting.
Yes, you do, because you're actually running a game. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a good time, or at least as good of a time as I did. And we will see you on Friday. Goodbye, Pack.
Awoo.
You almost forgot. Awoo.
No,
I never forget the awoo.
One more time. 1, 2, 3.
Awoo.
We'll see you next time.